snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here he goes. It's Hester. Inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown.
Fields stumbling, trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown!
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Deshaun Jackson back in the lineup. Missed the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards. A somersault into the end zone. His first touchdown of the season.
You're listening to The Pigskin Project, the world's #1 football podcast. Now, with more insights on all things football, here are your hosts, Ben Hansen and Ryan Matthews.
We are muted. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Pigskin Project, 45th episode. Feeling good. In person today.
In person, yes.
Good stuff. Ben, how was your trip up here, man?
It was good. Didn't quite the drive kind of sucked.
Yeah.
Just because the drive sucks. It's like a 3.5 hour drive. But it's good to be home. It feels weird because I don't have anything to like really do. So I kind of just like sit in my room and and go on my phone and I help my family out. But it's kind of nice to just relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Phew, it got scared me. I'm used to recording on Wednesday. I thought I had a homework assignment due tonight, but it's due tomorrow.
We're good. Yeah, because of the holidays and, just trying to spend some time with family and friends and everything, we're deciding to do it on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So, pretty flexible here. I should have tweeted about this so that people would know. Instead, hoping and praying that somebody listens to this later on. We'll be putting this out a little bit early too, so
Yes.
should be good. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into our weekly recap. Let's see. The Titans beat the Packers 27-17. Yeah, they did. The Panthers lost to the Ravens 13-3. The Bears lost to the Falcons 27-24. The Bills beat the Browns 31-23 in Detroit. The Commanders beat the Texans 23-10. The Eagles just barely beat the Colts.
Good teams find ways to win those games.
17-16. The Patriots beat the Jets 10-3. The Saints beat the Rams 27-20. The Lions beat the Giants 31-18. The Raiders beat the Broncos 22-16. The Cowboys demolished the
Slaughtered
Vikings.
to the point that they stopped showing the game halfway through the third quarter.
It's 40-3. Bengals beat the Steelers 37-30. And then Chiefs beat the Chargers in what I think is a classic 30-27. And the 49ers beat the Cardinals 38-10. Just not a fun game to watch. I fell asleep, but
So did I.
just quick and easy weekly recap. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
Ryan and Ben bring you weekly news.
My bad. So, Darrell Henderson got cut today. That's pretty big news.
Yeah, you don't see teams usually cutting their starting running back. So it's a little interesting why they decided to do that. I guess they're high on their undrafted rookie running back they drafted this year. But the bigger question is what do you do with Cam Akers now?
Yeah, and I as far as Darrell Henderson goes as well, I don't see him having any difficulty finding a new team. He's a little injury prone, but he should be okay. Melvin Gordon got released as well, which, in all fairness, the man's been fumbling left and right. So, unfortunately, it led to him fumbling his job.
Yep. And we saw it as soon as Latavius Murray came in, because Mike Boone, who is like their backup guy, like he was their third string going into the year, so it would have been Javonte, Melvin Ingram, and then Mike Boone. But then they signed Latavius Murray, and immediately in that first game, we saw Latavius Murray and Mike Boone split carries, and I mean Melvin Gordon was out just from the get-go. So it's nothing that's too shocking. We kind of expected that. But the interesting thing is Sam Darnold is starting this week.
honestly, what's even surprising about that? Just because Baker has not been playing well, they're just throwing a dart and seeing if they can hit anything, man. At this point, I think that they're definitely in the market for a quarterback come draft season.
Oh, yeah.
But fingers crossed for him, I guess.
Yeah. PJ Walker was a fun story. Again, this XFL quarterback who's coming along, and the main reason he ended up with the Panthers was because of Matt Rule. Matt Rule was his head coach when he played at Temple, because Matt Rule was a Temple guy before he was a Baylor guy. It was a fun story, but let's be honest, PJ Walker's not a starting quarterback in the league. And at the end of the day, the Panthers did trade a lot to get Sam Darnold. So we'll see. Maybe Sam Darnold can come and play better than Baker. But I don't really expect it to. We know who Sam Darnold is at this point. Again, if I'm the Panthers, I put Baker Mayfield in and just try to get the best pick possible, or try to leave PJ Walker. And it's really my main takeaway is it's sad that Matt Corral got hurt.
Yeah, and at the end of the day too, there are a couple more big things in the league as well. Chase Young was activated off the IR and everything, so he's all good. Good to see him, and especially really good, especially if you're, looking at, the Commanders defense for fantasy, maybe. If you're a Commanders fan, you're looking at maybe a late playoff push in the season, which I think
which would be huge. The NFC East,
which Taylor Heineke is going to be sticking at starting quarterback as well. So that's pretty big. You're looking at it. Taylor Heineke's done it before. Why can't he do it again?
Yes.
And then not only that, but Kyle Pitts is going on IR with an MCL tear. So that's pretty big for fantasy, but also not really because
he hasn't done anything.
So, just kind of throwing any hope that fantasy owners had out the window. But ultimately, it's more than fantasy. We're hoping that he does well in recovery and everything. But after that, I think that does it outside of the Jets not committing to Zach Wilson this week, which is pretty big for
Which is huge for Bears fans. That'll be fun. But Joe Flacco did look good in his few games he did play this season. And honestly, if you're the Jets, you just put in the quarterback who gives you the best chance of winning. Yeah. Just because that the Jets defense is so good this year. And they have weapons. They have Garrett Wilson. They have Elijah Moore. They traded for James Robinson. But, when you have Zach Wilson back there, you don't have anyone who can actually command this offense and take control of this offense. But, that all stems from the comments he had post-game.
Yeah.
Again, as you went over in the weekly recap, it was a 3-10. The Patriots won on a game-winning punt return. They took it to the house. There was literally 8 seconds left in the game. They took it to the house. But before that, it was 3-3, and I'm pretty sure he had -2 yards in the second half. Yeah. Zach Wilson. Yeah. And then a reporter asked him, said, "Hey, do you feel like you let down your defense?" And he said no, which is a stark difference from a guy even like Justin Fields. Yeah. Who, after the game, after scoring 24 points, said, defense, you did your job. You guys put us in position, and I let you guys down. Yeah. And then you see Zach Wilson say no after putting up -2 points in the second half. You can't have a guy like that lead your team. Maturity. Oh, yeah.
But also that, I saw where he came from as well. I feel like the connection and the chemistry is there to where it's he didn't mean anything bad. But it's just it looks bad to the media and everything.
Yeah, yes, it does.
So as a result, there's got to be some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe, I don't know, punishment?
Yeah. Some disciplinary action.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it looks bad, but, at the end of the day, that should lead us into overreactions. The first one being Zach Wilson is not going to be the guy.
Yeah.
In New York. And that's one that I've seen a lot. That's a media headline that I'm seeing. The man showed nothing but bad since he's been there.
Yes, and
an injury.
I saw something on Twitter which piqued my interest. I wanted to send it to you guys, but decided to leave and talk about it here. Even with their win, the Raiders are still in prime position to get a very good pick that they could end up using on a quarterback. If you're the Raiders, why not draft a CJ Stroud, a Will Levis, or a Bryce Young and trade Derek Carr to the Jets for a second-round pick? You get a second-round pick, and now the Jets have a dude that can hopefully lead their offense, because again, they have the pieces. They just need someone who can lead it. And let's be honest, at this point, the Raiders are in rebuild mode. I know people don't like to hear it because they have talent on their team, but in that division, they just cannot compete. It is time for them to kind of take a reset and figure out who they are, build a new culture, and do that with one of these top 3 quarterbacks in the draft.
Yeah. See, the thing that I have is, I could see them doing that, but I can also see them keeping Derek Carr just to fill the spot, for a mentor role. Also, they have Devontae Adams, and the chemistry's there between Derek Carr and Devontae Adams. How much of Derek Carr?
See, and we keep on saying the chemistry's there, and I understand Devontae Adams has been hurt this year, but he just hasn't showed. It really hasn't. Out like the first game, he played very well, and then this past game, I know he caught the game-winning touchdown. But outside of that, I mean, he's played he has not played like a top 5 or top 10 wide receiver in the league. Yeah. Outside of week 1 and then this past few weeks, he just has not played. So I understand the connection, but again, I mean, if you're bringing in a young quarterback, who's best to help him? And Darren Waller and Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow and stuff like that. So
Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow have been in and out with injuries.
In and out, but they're reliable guys, though. Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's fun. I like it.
Looking at it right now, Derek Carr's going 15-5 on the season with a 91.6 quarterback rating. He's a pretty decent quarterback.
No, he's playing well. No. I'm not saying he's not playing well.
Right, I know. I'm just saying in defense of him in response to the media.
Yes.
Formulating this theory that they should do this, could we instead point the finger at the coaching staff?
Well,
or instead, the supporting
it's
cast
not.
has,
well, I don't think it's a supporting cast issue again because he has guys. I mean, I know they've been in and out, but and again, it's not so much that he's played bad. It's just a matter of, again, you cannot compete in that division. It's clearly the Chiefs. It's always been the Chiefs, and it will continue to be the Chiefs. And then the Chargers are looking better, but they still lost. But they're looking better, and it's clearly those two are the top 2, and it's very clear that the Raiders and the Broncos are the bottom 2 teams on the division. And you're just not going to be able to compete with them. So why not take a swing and draft someone who maybe could turn into one of the top guys in the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It really is. But I mean, while we're on the topic, of the Chiefs and everything, they might be the only. I don't even know if I would say that, but I don't think there's a clear Super Bowl team right now. I don't.
I think it's just the Chiefs. I'm going to be honest.
I mean, I feel like they could be an upset.
They could be upset, but it just they've played so well, and I know they lost to that Colts, but like you don't see the Chiefs lose those games.
I'm just saying, with every team in the NFL, right, or every contender, put in quotes.
Yeah, air quotes.
Literally. Everybody's shown at least a little bit of weakness against a bad team.
Well, that's the NFL, though. That's just I don't know.
I'm just saying, in playoff teams, good playoff teams, find a way to execute against those weaknesses and win that game. You look at the Eagles, for example; they're 9-1, right? But they've scared you for the last few weeks now.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I mean, there's been times where you're like, I don't know.
I wasn't concerned about the Texans game.
Maybe not Texans,
but the Commanders game, I was never concerned. I mean, that was going into the year, but that was week 2.
I'm just saying,
from the first quarter of that game, I had no doubt in my mind. We freaking swamped the Vikings. It wasn't really particularly close.
From the first week when they almost lost to the Lions.
Yeah, but that's just about getting your feet under you. I mean, you can't knock a team for week 1. Look at what the Bears played like in week 1. they were awesome, and then they stinked, and now they're kind of good. And it's just a roller coaster this season. I'm not too worried about it. I know, but that's my point. It's just a roller coaster.
A group of fighters.
Yeah.
And I love this team. But it sucks that we're not winning. But man, have they stayed in every
yes, they have.
Game
it's fun. And it concerns me to play you guys.
Yeah, and we'll get there. I'm
yes.
very excited for that game.
18th, man. Less than a month away.
I just want to chant Green Bay sucks with you.
Green Bay sucks.
That's
Yep.
That's all it is. I want to say, though, I think the Falcons can be a fringe playoff team.
The Falcons might win that division. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at the end of the year because the Buccaneers are by far the best team in that division, but they just have not.
They're so injury old that it's just,
Exactly.
But when you look at it, though, I mean, they've got a somewhat young roster. I mean, Kyle Pitts is a blow. Don't get me wrong, but I think that this team can manage. And Marcus Mariota hasn't done as bad as people thought, but he's not doing as good as what I thought he would do too. That's
a question mark in the team. Because you can't stick with Marcus Mariota in the long term.
You remember how your Eagles were, the 7th seed last year?
Yes.
And they got decimated.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That's what I'm expecting from this Falcons team if they were to make
the playoffs. But the difference there, though, is we have a quarterback in a future. If Marcus Mariota is your quarterback, your team has no future, though.
I'm not saying everything correlates.
No, of course. I know.
When it comes to fringe playoff team, that is what I'm expecting.
Oh, absolutely. I could see them. It just, again, their future is so scary because they need to figure out the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
I understand they're winning. Mm-hmm. Radler just needs to go in.
I'm really, yeah.
Ritter, sorry. Desmond Ritter just needs to go in. He just needs to.
If they start losing, I'm expecting him to. But as of right now, they're in position to maybe make it.
And I get that, but again, what do you do next year? And then the year after that, and you just can't. I don't know. Ritter needs his time to shine.
And he will.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind. But my next one is, and then I think Jacoby Brissett can be a bridge quarterback like Garoppolo originally was next year.
Garoppolo was never originally a quarter. Oh.
Well, here's the thing.
This year, maybe he was viewed as a bridge quarterback, but not originally. Because originally, again, he got paid the highest quarterback at the time, his first paycheck with the Niners, that he was the highest paid player in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he wasn't viewed as a bridge quarterback
he's
then.
Been playing good enough to where he can start somewhere. It just might not be in the long term. Let's put a Super Bowl guy.
Yeah, and my issue with it more is not I think Brissett could be a bridge quarterback. My issue with it is the you saying Jimmy Garoppolo is a bridge quarterback, because I could see Brissett being a Fitzmagic type dude for the rest of his career.
Yeah. I mean,
but I don't think Jimmy is a bridge quarterback. That's my issue with the statement.
I'm just saying, because originally, this season, he was. I understand when they made the trade for him, they were thinking he was going to be the next big thing in San Francisco.
And he might take him to another Super Bowl this year.
He might.
This is crazy.
And it blows my mind that they drafted a quarterback, honestly.
Yep. And now, and the scary thing, too, is we spent, I think it was 2 weeks ago, having a conversation about Jordan Love.
Yeah. When does that go into effect?
When does that turn into Trey Lance?
Yeah.
Because if Jimmy G keeps on winning and he takes him to a Super Bowl, you can't bench Trey Lance. You can't. If a quarterback takes you to the Super Bowl and plays well, because right now he has 15 touchdowns to 4 interceptions on the season and 2,000 yards or something. And he didn't play the first 2.5 weeks of the season. He's playing very, very well this season. You can't bench him for Trey Lance. And then again, now you have another Jordan Love situation on your hands. And it's
especially Trey Lance, who's had a crazy more amount of talent than I think Jordan Love did.
Yes.
So as far as prospects go, I think that I like Trey Lance more than I do Jordan Love right now.
Oh yeah.
But do you have any more?
Yeah. To my point, something I just thought of. I mentioned Matt Corral to the Saints a lot. Could we see the Saints trade a second round pick for Trey Lance next year? That would be fun. That would be fun.
Matt would.
I think Matt liked Trey Lance.
Matt would explode.
Matt, yes.
He would just be like, throw the rest of the draft away. I don't care. We got Trey Lance.
Yeah. That'd be tough because then that means they wouldn't have a second round pick, and they clearly don't have a first round pick because the Eagles own it. So you don't have the first 2 rounds. But still,
I think he's worth a little bit more than a second round pick, though. I think the 49ers,
you can't trade a first for him.
It depends on where that first is, and I don't think the 49ers would trade this offseason, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo being a free agent.
They'll sign him to big money. I think we'll see. What Jimmy ends up getting paid will tell us what they're going to do with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Because if Jimmy gets paid a lot, then they're moving on from Trey Lance. That being said, I have a few. The Rams, they're just bad this year. The Rams are really bad this year. I'm sorry, but this is this might be one of the worst Super Bowl hangovers we have ever seen.
I was going to say the worst Super Bowl fall off, but you said the same exact thing.
Yeah, it's awful. And then the Giants are who we thought they were. I've been saying forever the Giants were not as good. Exactly. Saquon's good. And then Wan'Dale Robinson has a knee issue, so they have no one to throw the football to now.
But if Odell signs with that team.
We'll get to Odell a little bit later.
Which, yeah, I guess we should make a point. Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be meeting with teams after Thanksgiving. So,
yeah.
And those 2 teams are going to be the Giants and the Cowboys. I think a Giants reunion makes the most sense in terms of storyline for him and sentimental value, but it all just depends.
If he wants to win a ring, Jerry
Jones is going to.
Jerry Jones is going to go hard for him, I think. Yeah. But yeah, the Giants, they're exactly who they're bad. They're not good. And then the last one I have is the Cowboys might have just played themselves into the contender conversation with how bad they just whooped on the Vikings.
I was hesitant. I'm glad that you said this because I think that they're the best team in the NFC right now.
They're sure playing like it. And that's coming from an Eagles fan.
I was going to say, the Eagles are up there for sure. But when it comes to, they're dominating on the run game. They have a great passer. They have one of the best defenses in the league. And then not only that, but they have, great wide receivers. And Tony Pollard is playing like he should have been number 1 on the depth chart.
And it's like fans have been saying this forever or something. Yeah. It's Mike McCarthy for you. But yeah, that's all I got for overreactions for you guys.
Let's go ahead and move on.
Just when you thought it was safe to play the underdog, we put you on Upset Alert.
So, Upset Alert for this week. Not a whole lot, but there's potential.
There's potential. I have 4.
I have 3.
Okay.
For the first time, I think I have less than you do.
Yeah, that's a shocker.
Bills at Lions.
I don't have that one.
Bills at Lions. Lions are playing very good when it comes to the offensive line. And they're on a win streak. Dan Campbell makes me want to run through a brick wall whenever I see a locker room speech.
I can't get on the Dan Campbell train. Why? I've said it forever.
Why?
I can't. He seems like such a fraud. He seems as we talked about in the last podcast, leader of men. That's I think that's the most important quality to have in an NFL head coach. But he seems like a fraud. The way that the way he talks and the way he it's so cheesy it's like a sports movie.
Yeah.
I don't want that as I think you need to have a good leader, but it's like a sports movie. It's just I can't get behind it. I think the Bills are just going to have their way with that team. I think they should hopefully shut down that offense. When does Tre'Davious White come back? That's an interesting.
Yeah,
is he back yet? I don't know if he's back yet. Let's see.
Let's see.
No, Tre'Davious White is still not back yet. Ugh. But
he's a free agent this year too.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Because he was out with an ACL tear.
Yeah, he's the number 1 cornerback in free agency next year. Because when Tre'Davious White plays, the dude's a baller. I think we forget how good Tre'Davious White is.
Okay.
But Tre'Davious White, even on the outside, I think the Bills defense should match up very well against this Lions offense, and The Lions defense is not going to be able to stop Josh Allen.
What I would do is have Jalen Johnson, Tre'Davious White, Taylor Gordon,
That'd be so
Eddie
much fun.
Jackson, and Jaquan Brisker backfield.
Next episode, we need to have a conversation about the Bears. Because I was talking to my dad about this.
What
About what you guys are going to do in the offseason. Because you guys have so many needs.
So
You guys need offensive linemen. You guys need defensive linemen. You guys could use another. You guys could use a CB2. You guys could use offensive linemen. So like it's just a matter of what you would do. I don't think there's any correct way. But
I'm gonna put together a plan.
Yeah,
for the offseason.
I'd love to see it.
And yeah, it's gonna be step by step. We're gonna do because can we make mock drafts yet? Is that available on websites yet?
Some websites, the website I use, it's not available
I'm
but
just gonna say draft said position here, said position here.
Yeah.
The first thing that I will say for a little bit of a preview, even if it's the number 2 pick,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trading back.
Okay.
I'm trading back. There's
As you
no reason for me, if I'm Ryan Poles, to be staying in the top 10.
I disagree with that, but
I would definitely move back. I would say within the maybe 15 spot.
I would say there's no reason top 5 because the top 4 players are quarterbacks and then an edge and a defensive tackle.
reloading for the next couple of years.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying,
But
like,
top 10, I think is tough.
I want a Dolphins haul. That's what I want.
That's tough. You guys really, really, really need help on the offensive line.
Yeah. It all
Drafting,
depends on-
yeah.
Um,
So, anyways, your other 2 upsets you got for us this week.
Yes. So for the next couple, Buccaneers at Browns.
Don't have them either, man.
Jacoby Brissett's playing out of his mind. I think the Buccaneers can be upset and potentially knock
I think the
out
Browns are favorites in that game.
Who knows? Honestly.
I'm pretty sure the Browns are that's why I don't have them on here. I think the Browns are favored.
But yeah, and then I put the Bills and Lions twice on my list, so I actually have 2. So
You just have 2. Nice. Well, none of ours match up. I'm surprised you didn't put the Packers and Eagles on there. This is a conversation we had before. I know it's tough for you. Packers or Eagles? The Packers and Eagles have to be on this list. But the way the Packers played against the Cowboys and the way that the Eagles have looked is scary. The Eagles defense has looked very well. And it's so weird because the Eagles offense looked well against the Commanders. A few silly mistakes, it would have won that game. That offense was fine. But the defense looked awful. But then it switched around this game. The Eagles defense played very, very well outside of that first drive, and the Eagles offense couldn't get anything done. It's a matter of putting stuff together. Yeah. The Eagles can put things together, then they're a good team, and we've seen it. They're 9-1 for a reason, but it's scary, and the Packers can start playing well. Again, Christian Watson had another 2-touchdown game, and he was on my bench. Besides the point. And then the other games I have is the Titans versus Bengals. It's just a matter of do the Bengals have enough firepower to stop Derrick Henry? Yeah. Because there's not a lot of there's no wide receivers really that I'm concerned about. I mean, Treylon Burks is continuing to grow. Maybe we could see a Treylon Burks breakout game. I'm just not going to say that until it happens. But it's just a matter of do they have the firepower to stop Derrick Henry? And I don't think any team in the league does.
Yeah. So that's it for
and then I have 2 more.
Yeah.
I have the Niners versus Saints. The Saints played well, which is like it's aggravating. Saints need to make up their mind. And it's just a matter of like there's a few of these a week. Like a couple games we don't see happening. The Niners are coming off of a very, very good game. And just a matter of can the Niners build on that or will it get to their head? We'll see in this game. Because if the Niners let it get to their head, it's going to be tough for them. But if they build off of it, we will know the culture that the Niners have. And then the last game on this list, I'm surprised you didn't talk about. It's the Bears versus Jets.
That's not an upset. I'm sorry. Both of these teams suck, and this game's going to be
and I understand that's what you're saying. The Jets, look at the Jets' record, and the Jets' defense is phenomenal. And the Jets have very good offensive talent, like I've said, outside of Zach Wilson. Honestly, I think the Jets are in a better position if Joe Flacco plays this game.
But what happens if Justin Fields sits out because he's dealing with injury?
That's the concerning thing. And that's my issue with these upset alerts because I'm pretty sure I put the Browns as an upset alert because we thought they were going to play in the snow, and then literally the next day got moved to Detroit. So it is what it is. But yeah, the Bears and the Jets is the last one I have for you guys. and then we'll go right into score predictions for you.
You think you know football? Well, prove it. This is Pigskin Pick'em.
I'm already going through these games and I'm already deciding who I'm going to be picking. And we're starting off fresh. Bills at Lions. Who you got?
Bills.
Bills? All right.
Bills like 35-17 or 34-17.
I am going Lions 27-24. It's going to be really tight for the whole game. Actually, no. I'll say this. The Bills are going to take off with the lead. The Lions are going to come back and kick the game on the field goal.
You're wild.
Giants at Cowboys.
Cowboys. This was tough. I wanted to go Giants, but I just can't. They're frauds.
Yeah.
Cowboys looked good. But I do think it's going to be a close one. We're going to say 24-21 Cowboys.
Patriots at Vikings.
Vikings. I know the Vikings didn't look good, but the Patriots are really bad.
Yeah.
I can't get on the Patriots. Like, again, it was a 3-3 game until 8 seconds left in that game. Yeah. So the Vikings, and I think it's going to be handled. Very handily. I think the Vikings are going to be upset that they lost by that much. The Vikings are going to win, I'm going to say 31-14.
I was literally going 31-13 Vikings. Those are our Thanksgiving games. So that'll be nice. The Patriots, and I know they are. The Patriots and Vikings at night. I mean, you couldn't have put. I think the Bills and Lions are going to be a great start to Thanksgiving.
Dude, the Patriots, I think for the next month are on primetime. It's awful.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're getting a month of primetime Patriots.
But we're starting our noon list. It's Texans at Dolphins.
Yeah, the Dolphins are taking this one. the Dolphins are taking this one. Yeah, the Dolphins. You know what? We're gonna keep it simple. We're not gonna even give you guys a score prediction for this game. Dolphins a lot, the Texans a little. That's my analysis for you guys.
I'm going Dolphins 21-17 because the Texans tend to stick around with whoever they're playing. Bengals versus Titans.
Yeah, I put the I put the Titans on or the Bengals on upset alert. I said the Titans might win, and we're gonna show that in the score prediction here. I think this is gonna be a really, really gritty game. I think the Titans are probably gonna win this one 20-14.
Ooh, I am going with the Bengals. Jamar Chase is questionable this week. He's not doubtful. He's not out. He's questionable.
I don't think he's going to play. He was on crutches last week, and for someone to go from crutches to playing,
and it was all precautionary though. All precautionary. It's going to be a limited capacity. Expect Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins to be out. Out meaning like out there, killing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 30-24.
Wow.
Broncos versus Panthers in Carolina. This
game's gonna. I'm not gonna watch this game. This game is awful.
Yeah.
If this was any other quarterback playing for the Panthers, I probably would have picked the Panthers to win. If it was PJ or Baker, I probably would have picked the Panthers to win. But because it's Sam Darnold and he hasn't played all season, and this is his first game back, I'm going to pick the Broncos. But I'm gonna give it like a 13-16 score. It's gonna be a very slow game, 13-16.
I'm going with the Panthers.
I want to. It's just Sam Darnold, man.
I'm doing it, and I'm gonna go 24 to the Broncos 18.
Okay.
Weird mathematical game.
Mm-hmm.
Bears versus Jets. I don't want to. I have to, but I don't want to guess this game.
We're gonna pick the Bears, man. We're gonna pick the Bears.
Okay.
And we're gonna pick the Bears 27 to the Jets 17.
I'm gonna
pick the Bears by 10 points. It's like a 10-point spread there. We're gonna pick the Bears. Thank you very much. The Jets are favored in this game. I'm picking the Bears to cover points at least, but I'm picking Bears money line.
Fields is day to day.
Fields is gonna play. Fields is this whole day-to-day stuff is like this competitive advantage stuff. Look me in the eyes and tell me that you think Fields is gonna look at this team and say, nah, guys, I'm gonna sit this one out. I'm not gonna play.
I don't think he would, but the thing is I think the coaches are looking long term. They've already discussed it. They're and they tiptoed around it. they were like, he's day to day right now. We're just going to go through it and see how he feels. But I don't want to pick. I'm going with the Jets. And I'm going to say it's going to be a 21-17 game. But here's the reason why. That defense is tough.
Yes.
That run game is going to be stopped.
Yeah.
Especially if Justin Fields can go. I don't see a lot of quarterback runs unless it's passing. One thing that I want to mention as well, because me and my coworker were talking about it, they almost overcompensated for Justin's strengths this past game.
Yes.
They designed quarterback runs for him, and it was easy to scout out. That's not what Justin Fields needs to be doing.
I don't think a design quarterback run is bad, though.
In some cases, no. In moderation, no. But the fact that they were doing it a lot that's the issue. Not only that, but if you've watched any of his tape, he's able to extend the play with his legs when there's not any passing.
It's the RPO that he's good at.
So I'm just saying,
yep.
You need to be able to make that available to him. The fact that it was just like, nah, he's just going to run the ball this play, he shouldn't be faulted for that interception, by the way. I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying just for people out there that like to throw shame on Bears fans for their quarterback.
On the flip side of that, though, you were a big deal. I don't want to be I don't sound like a jerk, but you were making a big deal about that touchdown pass to Darnell Mooney. And a good NFL quarterback makes that pass. There were 3 guys that were in coverage, but there weren't 3 guys within 5 yards of Darnell Mooney. So all he had to do was get it in the general vicinity of Darnell Mooney. It was a fine pass, but I don't think it was a great pass.
But he did
pass. This is our standards. But Justin Fields did pass the football. Breaking news.
The better pass was against the Dolphins.
Yes.
That one was a great.
Yes.
Anyways, no, back to it though. As long as they play it safe with Justin, I'm going to be okay. Especially because I cannot watch the Bears play the Packers with Trevor Siemian at the quarterback position. It's not going to be pleasant. So please, if he's not going to play at 100%, just for the love of God, sit him.
That's fair.
And even if it's I'm sitting him during the week for practice, sit him. Yep. Please let him rest. The man can control the offense on his own. Just for the love of God, just let him rest. That being said, though, I'm sick and tired of betting for my Bears, and I need to be realistic here. This is a rebuilding year. That Jets fan, by the way, first off, one of the Jets fans, you're getting ice cream this week. Have fun with that. The second Jets fan, I'm sorry, but your undefeated streak on your coin flip thing, that's coming to an end this week. Bears suck. Enjoy your win. Sauce Gardner's going to get an interception.
I hope the Bears win this game. It's going to be so bittersweet for you because you're talking about the Bears aren't going to win this, and then they're going to win it. You're like, Bears won!
Do you know how desperate I am for a Bears fan?
Oh, yeah.
But at this point, it's just, I need to, look.
It's weighing on you.
For those of you that don't know, because I'm an idiot and I didn't say this before, we are currently tied in our rankings. Ben and Ben went 11-3. I went 10-4. Great week, by the way. High five. Let's go. We're both at 96, 67-1 on the season.
I started off this season down by 22 games against you or something.
I'm coming back for that lead.
I hope.
I'm going safe with the Jets, but Falcons versus Commanders.
Falcons. I don't know what the upset is. People want to talk about the Kyle Pitts stuff, but I really don't think that has much factor. Kyle Pitts has been a very zero in this offense. Yeah. It's not much of a factor. Probably
Patterson this last week.
Cordell, we love Cordell Patterson.
He's such a good guy, man.
He is, man.
But,
a nice, simple, easy score. Falcons 24, Commanders 21.
I'm going Commanders 27-17.
A lot of games we've picked different, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
It'll be good.
Buccaneers versus Browns.
Browns by a lot.
I'm putting 99 to 1.
You can put that. Realistically, I'm going to say like 31 to 20. 31 to 20 is what we'll go with.
I'm rooting for Hakeem Hicks. I really am.
I bet
love
you
that
are.
guy,
I know him.
but he's been in and out. Not that crucial of a piece in this defense as much as I would have hoped. As far as the run defense goes, I don't know how I don't know. I'm going Browns just to play it safe, and I'm going to say it's going to be a close one, 21 to 20. Ravens versus Jags.
The Ravens, but I think this man right here, I have Trevor Lawrence pulled up on my screen. He hasn't played well. He played well last time he was on the field against the Chiefs. He had 2 touchdowns, 260 yards, 72% completion rating, 0 interceptions, and 100.6 rating.
Trevor Lawrence.
I'm sure we'll get to him.
Is the CEO of mid.
I wanted to scroll past a later segment. I saw him in there. So
Not good.
we're not going to talk about it right now, though. I think he'll keep it closer. I think the Ravens win. I think Trevor Lawrence keeps the game closer than what people want. I don't know what the spread's at, but I imagine it's at a lot. I might bet the Jags to cover the spread. If I was 21.
Yeah. We're getting there, though.
Yeah.
Next year.
I'll
get there first, though.
We'll have the Ravens win this one, but I think it'll be a fun game to watch. The score probably won't show how close it is, but we're gonna say the Ravens 27 to the Jags 24.
I have the Ravens 28 to 14. So I'm not a Trevor Lawrence believer.
I know.
I'm sorry. Justin Fields was the best quarterback out of that draft.
Yeah,
and he will be for a long time. Raiders versus Seahawks.
Seahawks. Seahawks are a better team. They're playing at home field. It's the Seahawks, and I'm going to say that the Seahawks are probably going to score the most out of any team this week. That's my bold prediction. I'm going to have the Seahawks score like 37 points to the Raiders, like 17.
I'm going with the Raiders. Flip it. I'm going Raiders 27 to, I'll say 17.
Oh, wow.
Or no, I'm going 20. 27 to 20. Chargers versus Cardinals.
Chargers by a lot. Even if Kyler Murray plays this game, he hasn't played in 2 weeks. His hamstring is awful.
Yeah.
He's been playing too much COD.
This man has not played a single game since Call of Duty's been out.
I know, man. Unbelievable. What a slacker. The Chargers did look good.
They did. They looked like that game looked like we were watching the AFC Championship, but you could just never count out Patrick Mahomes.
No, you cannot.
And I saw a TikTok on this. Patrick Mahomes, is he the Michael Jordan of the NFL? Because whenever the ball gets in that guy's hand, you know for a fact that he's about to score.
He's gonna score, man. When it matters the most, maybe.
Yeah.
Mahomes, we love Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Cardinals, but the Chargers are looking good. That's the point. Even though they've lost, the Chargers are looking good. The Chargers are going to win this one 31 to 14. 31 to 13. 31 to 13.
I think the Chargers are going to win, but it's not going to be by that much. I think, we're looking 20. Let's go 30 to, I'll say 24. This game's going to be close, and it shouldn't be, but it will be. Saints versus 49ers.
Niners are going to win this, even though I have the Saints on upset, or even though I have the Niners on upset alert.
They look like they could potentially make it to the Super Bowl. We've said it multiple times, but
honestly, the Niners are the team that scared me the most in the NFC. That being said, I think the Niners are going to win this one 24 to 14.
All right, and I'm going 31. Ooh, I just deleted everything. 31 to the Saints, 13. I'm sorry, but it's not going to be pretty. Rams versus Chiefs.
The Chiefs by a lot, the Rams by a little. The Chiefs are going to put up all right. We'll say 31 for the Chiefs, 10 for the Rams.
I'm going with the Chiefs as well. There's just nothing going for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say it's going to be 37 to the Rams 17. Not good. Packers versus Eagles, Sunday Night Football.
I'm sure you're looking at my computer screen right now. Yeah. We're going to have Packers win this game. We try to stay unbiased. It just feels like one of those games that the Eagles lose. One of the games that the Eagles slip up. This game and the Bears games and then the Saints game. The games that scare me the most are games that we should probably win, but will be a lot closer than what they should be.
Yeah.
Boy, would I love the Eagles to pull this out. But we're gonna have the Packers win 24 to the Eagles 20.
I'm going Eagles 28-17. Fly, Eagles, fly. Screw you, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Steelers versus Colts, Monday Night Football.
Colts beat the Steelers, even though the Steelers are actually looking good. Jonathan Taylor's going to have himself a game. It's just a matter of whether or not the Colts can block TJ Watt. And if the Colts can block TJ Watt, the Colts are going to win this game.
That's a good point. I'm going...
Colts are going to win 24. No, Colts are going to win 27-21.
I'm going Steelers in an absolute snooze fest with 13-10.
Okay.
So that'll do it for Pigskin Pick'em. What we're doing now is the most overrated players in the league.
Yeah.
We're both offensive minded, so I mean, I personally didn't get any defensive guys. So
I added one defensive minded. One defensive.
If you're a defensive minded person, feel free to comment whatever you think, or shoot us a DM on Twitter or something like that. We'll talk about it in the future episode. For me, I mean, we both have him, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, he, you know what? He's played good, but he's played really, really bad.
There's no in between. There's no in between. And the thing that really solidified this for me, Eagles week in and week out through the entire season have had one of the worst run defenses in the entire NFL. And from the start, JT had I think it was like 44 yards, 45 yards that first drive. And I'm like, oh, here we go again. He finished the rest of the game with 39 yards. After that first drive, he had 39 yards against one of the worst rushing defenses in the entire league. Jonathan Taylor, he's a good back, but he is not anywhere close to the back that we thought he was going to be going into the season, and it's a darn shame.
I don't know. David Montgomery's next on my list.
Yeah, we can combine them.
The Bears have the number one rushing offense in the league, and it's not because of David Montgomery. It's because of two people. One,
who we've talked about a lot on this podcast.
Yeah, one primarily, and it's Justin Fields. The second one being Khalil Herbert, who is the future running back of the Bears.
Not where I thought you were going. Yeah.
I think, people are going to hate this. I've had conversations with people in Twitter threads about, oh, man, we should keep David Montgomery to an extended deal. I love David Montgomery, man.
This is something we talked about at the beginning of the year, too, man.
I got his autograph early in the offseason. Or not early on in the offseason, but like earlier this year, but in the offseason. Props to Travis Gibson. Thank you so much. I hope to talk to you at the Packers game. Let's make some magic happen, Travis, if you're listening. You're probably not, but if you are. So I think, David Montgomery, he'll be a fine free agent piece for a team that's looking for it. He's not getting re-signed, and it's going to be a heartbreaker.
When you have that much money, you don't spend it on
well, when you can okay, Tristan Ebner has not been bad for the Bears.
Well, that too, but hear me out here. I know that running backs aren't a need. Mm-hmm. And his value just skyrocketed after this game. But someone who I thought was like a super good value, because I think like his projected contract was like $7.5 a year. Now it's going to go up.
Yeah.
And you guys don't need a running back this year. But Tony Pollard in that offense would be so much fun. Oh. And he's a free agent after this year. And I was thinking about that before this game. His contract, I mean, he just earned himself some money after this game. Mm-hmm. But that would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Mac Jones is next on my list.
Yeah.
He was ranked pretty high in the top 100 for players ranked, just this previous season,
Mm-hmm.
and he got replaced just like that.
Yeah.
The guy we thought was great in the system for Bill Belichick, but he's been awful this season, and he just fell off. This is probably one of the fastest fall-offs I've seen in recent memory.
And he's a guy that we had ranked pretty low going into the season as well.
Yeah. I mean, add it to the list of things that we called.
What can I say?
But anyways, no. If you've stuck around this long, you already know. Thank you so much. First off, we got a lot planned, but second off, just keep writing.
Just keep listening, keep writing.
Because hey, guess what? A lot of the things that we've said so far have come true. A lot of them have not. I said, you know what? It's kind of crazy. I said a Steelers wide receiver would be a future Bear, and that was Deontay Johnson. That didn't happen, but dang it, I was close.
It's like we know football or something.
We know a thing or two. Next up was Trevor Lawrence. I said that he was pretty overrated. I think, people love him, man. You love him.
I love him.
To talk about
I like it's a potential thing, and he just hasn't played as well.
But he's overrated right now. He's getting too much media hype when really it's just kind of like you shouldn't be worried about him just yet.
No.
But you should definitely be like.
But he's the second best quarterback in the draft class.
Thank you.
Yeah. As of right now, I don't know about the long term, but
for this last one.
Yeah, let's hear.
George Kittle.
I
love George Kittle. He put on one heck of a game last night. That was pretty fun to watch. But the stars align, man. Like sometimes
it's okay. I would not go that far.
He's not top 3.
It's a matter.
He's not top 4.
Yes, he is. Yes. It's Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle. Who else? Waller hasn't played this season.
Okay, fine. I mean,
I would put Dallas Goedert in there because Dallas Goedert has been on an absolute tear, but he got hurt.
Off the top of my head, I mean, Kittle comes to mind, but I think that it's also biased. If we were to look,
and my thing is, and I understand where you're coming with the Kittle thing, but he's played well the last few weeks. It just he was hurt, and it took time for him to adjust to these offense.
Let me just say this though: when it comes to tight ends, I love where the direction of Cole Kmet right now. Yes. They've utilized him right within the past couple weeks, and I love it.
And the start difference,
catch, bro.
The start difference between him at the beginning of the season versus now is crazy because he looked really, really, really bad at the beginning of the season.
Tell you what, I would rather have T.J. Hawkinson over Kittle right now.
I disagree, but
I think that that's good. I mean, yeah, sure, top 5 tight end, but like it's also pretty hard to find a good tight end in this league. Mm-hmm. He does a pretty good job blocking, but like in terms of scoring and everything, I mean, he's covered, and when he's covered, I mean, you have to drop the right play for him. So
yeah,
I'm looking over here.
I have 3 players on this list.
Oh, you
that would one of them I decided to take off the list.
I just saw you take off.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. The reason I'm leaving those 3 on there because I'm deleting this dude off because I'm talking about it. But I have 4 people I want to talk about left. Yeah. 3 of them are going to make people really, really, really mad. One of them, I think we're all in agreement about. Allen Lazard. Going into the year, people were like, Allen Lazard is going to be the wide receiver 1. It's not going to be that big deal. Allen Lazard, Allen Lazard, when Romeo Doubs is healthy, is the 3rd best wide receiver on that team. Christian Watson's Romeo Doubs, and then Allen Lazard. Allen Lazard has absolutely stunk the bed. I would be okay with putting Sammy Watkins in front of Allen Lazard at this point.
I called it. That's all there is.
So, in terms of another wide receiver.
Do you remember when we had Aiden on draft night?
Yep.
And I was like, who do you have? Allen Lazard? Who?
Allen Lazard.
I'm so scared. I'm shaking.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude. I've never been afraid of Allen Lazard, and he has proven me right to be that way.
Yep. Another wide receiver on this list people are going to be mad about. OBJ.
I believe so, yes.
I understand that he was good at one point.
He's good.
Guys, he's coming off his second ACL tear. Not his first. His second ACL tear, and has not played football all season long. We haven't seen what he can do, and people are acting as if he can come in and save a team's season. People need to cool it. OBJ is great. I like OBJ. OBJ is no longer a top 10 wide receiver in the league. people just need to calm down.
Yeah.
These last two, specifically, we'll save, I think, the most heated one on this list for last. I told you guys I had one defensive player. It's Joey Bosa.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk about Joey Bosa all the time. You go and announcers like, well, you got to watch out for Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa's. I'd have Khalil Mack over Joey Bosa.
Well, yeah.
Yes, and people are talking about Joey Bosa. No, Joey Bosa has a sack and a half this season. A sack and a half, and you're playing across Khalil Mack. He's not getting double teamed, and he still somehow only has a sack and a half.
Yeah.
He's already on the downward progression of his career. I don't think Joey Bosa is anywhere near the player that we once thought he was.
Yeah.
And then
yeah. Let me say this. I've had this guy on my fantasy team in my other league that we're not in. And I completely agree with the statement because I recognize what he's done week in and week out, and he's been a consistent bummer.
So my last guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is make people mad.
Mm-hmm.
People are not gonna be happy about this one. Deebo Samuel.
If you're a fantasy owner, you're like, yeah,
I
know.
And I'm not even basing this off. I watched last night's game. This might be bold. I don't think it is at this point to say he's not even the best wide receiver on his team. He might be. He's the best athlete on his team. People need to cool it. He's the best athlete on his team. The ball in his hands. He's a good player. I'm not saying he's not. He can take something to the house whenever he wants. Brandon Ayuk is a better wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Deebo. I'm not saying he's better than Deebo even. I'm just saying he's the better wide receiver. Deebo's hype is getting just out of control. People need to cool it, and especially with him not getting the ball as much as a running back, with CMC now and with Elijah Mitchell splitting the carries, he's not running the ball out of the backfield anymore. I think he's the most overrated player in the league. People don't like to hear that.
That's bold.
Deebo is the most overrated player in the league.
Yeah.
Moving on to overrated players, I saw one of your players on your MVP list.
Yes.
Because we don't have a segment title for it, so we're just going to move on. We have MVP frontrunners, arguably an overrated player on – arguably two overrated players.
He's not on my list.
No. I saw the last player on your MVP ballot. We want to talk about MVP frontrunners right here. Arguably the last player, and then not my guy, not your front runner, but the number 2 guy that I think people thought was the number 2 quarterback in the league. But we'll get there. Do you want to give the people your list?
Mahomes is the clear front runner, behind Jalen Hurts, or right in front of Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Josh Allen,
man.
I mean,
he has the most interceptions of anyone in the league right now. Josh Allen, and this is the same issue that happened with Carson Wentz. Tries too hard. He tries to make something out of nothing, which can be nice sometimes. But at a certain point, and I've seen it in Justin Fields, and I see it in Jalen Hurts sometimes. Just throw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
Just throw it out of bounds. Slide. Take the knee. Do something, but don't throw the interception. Patrick Mahomes is clearly the best quarterback in the league. And I think Josh Allen is a top 5 quarterback in the league, top 3 quarterback in the league.
I was sitting there thinking about it the entire game when we were watching the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this man is commanding his offense the best that I've ever seen. Maybe not ever seen, but seen this season.
Mahomes? Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, he is the absolute leader of that team, and he does such a great job. He's earned every penny of that massive contract that he signed.
He's the best quarterback in the NFL, and it's not. He's the best player in the NFL, and it is not particularly close.
My last name was Tua.
Yeah,
and that's, I mean, you're thinking this is a quarterback's award. But I mean, man, how could you talk? I mean, he's undefeated as a starting.
Yes,
so,
he's undefeated when he's played because he's missed a few games. Right. It's so much more as wide receivers than anything.
I mean, once you get that good supporting cast.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Jalen Hurts.
Yes. But Jalen Hurts had got one extra wide receiver, and look at Jalen Hurts's or look at AJ Brown's stuff versus Tyreek Hill's stuff. That's an important note. On that note, I have Tyreek Hill at 3 on my list.
Okay.
I have obviously Patrick Mahomes. Our number 2 are the exact same. Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is big lead over Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, by the way, the game-winning drive shows you why he's franchise quarterback or why he should be in the game in the MVP discussion. So the blasphemy comments by people saying he shouldn't be in the MVP discussion is absolutely wild to me.
Yeah.
Besides the point, it's obviously Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Those are 1 and 2. Like, that's factual. Like, if you don't believe that's facts, then you're just wrong.
Right.
Okay. Number 2, though, it's Tyreek Hill. I understand it's something we mentioned beforehand. Tyreek Hill is on pace to have the best wide receiver season we have ever seen in the history of the game.
I mean, better than Cooper Kupp last year.
Better than Cooper Kupp last year. He's going to break 2,000. He's on pace to break 2,000 receiving yards in just the regular season.
That's crazy.
I don't know how he played recently, but his catches and receiving yards is absolutely wild. His touchdown numbers are a little meh.
He's going to hit 1,200 next game.
Yes.
That's insane.
That's wild. I mean, this is one of the best wide receiving seasons we have ever seen ever. Tyreek Hill needs to be on this list, but he's not because it's a quarterback award, and it is a darn shame. And then the last one I have on this is more of a storyline guy. His stats are okay, but Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Geno Smith has played phenomenal. He's played way better than everyone expected, and because of that, the Seahawks are playing way better than what anyone expected. Geno Smith is by far the comeback player of the year. I think we can all agree on that one.
Yeah.
Maybe Saquon, because Saquon's a dog. But just the storyline that Geno Smith brings, he's the comeback player of the year. And I don't think Geno Smith wins the MVP, but it's a fun conversation to have.
Yeah. Moving on to our next segment.
Pro football isn't the only game in town. Let's take a stroll to Ben's College Corner.
All right. So, Ben, we have new college football rankings out now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's kind of new, but kind of not.
It's.
Have you?
No. I mean, I'll pull it up, but yeah.
I have it pulled up right here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do you want me to list it off?
I mean, I've never listed. I mean, LSU at 5 is the big talking point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. USC at 6.
I think USC should be at 6, or I think USC should be at 5, and LSU should be at 6. That's my only gripe with it. The top 4 hasn't changed. The top 4 is what matters.
Yeah. Tulane at 19. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, Tulane. We mentioned. I know I mentioned Tulane.
It's so minor.
Earlier.
Like, we don't necessarily need to touch on it. I'm just saying I love Tulane.
We like Tulane's colors.
Yeah,
we like Tulane's colors.
Their mascot's kind of cool too.
We like the Pac-12 being represented.
Yeah.
There's Utah, Washington.
Can we talk about Notre Dame?
Oregon. Yeah, Oregon and USC. It's awesome. We love the Pac-12 being represented because for a long, long time, Pac-12 has been an awful football conference.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's awesome to see Notre Dame fighting their way back. They have 2 losses, and they don't play in a conference championship because they don't belong to a conference. They cannot make they just can't. Because they can't. They have 2 losses, which blows. And it's hard to put them in over a 1-loss team. And then you add on to the fact that with 2 losses, they can't say they were a conference champion.
Right.
And year after year after year after year, that has hurt Notre Dame. Notre Dame needs to go to the ACC and just absolutely have their way with the ACC players. And if they can do that, they could consistently be in the college football playoffs. It hurts that they are not in the conference, and it's fun that they're playing well, but it's just tough. You can't do it, man.
Moving on to
the 3 games of the week, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave that last one. We're gonna leave that first one.
Yeah.
The Iron Bowl, which some would say is a bigger game than the game, which I think you're wrong. The game is called the game for a reason. But the Iron Bowl is getting played this week. Alabama should absolutely murder Auburn. Yeah. Auburn does not look good, and Alabama's Bama. But the Iron Bowl has gotten as much hype as it has forever because Auburn always finds a way to play good in this game. We'll see if Auburn can do it again. But you can't talk about this and not talk about the Iron Bowl. The third game to watch is USC versus Notre Dame. I think that's 6th ranked USC versus what is Notre Dame? 10? 10?
Notre Dame is 15.
15. Well, okay. Wow, I was off. USC versus Notre Dame. This is USC's test. If USC can beat Notre Dame and win the Pac-12, then you have to have the conversation of USC being in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
Again, we're rooting for USC. We're rooting for the Pac-12. I've been on that stamp forever. But the number one game to watch this Saturday is the game.
This is a big
If
game.
you don't know what the game is, you've lived under a rock. I'm sorry, and not to be rude to our listeners, but if you don't know what the game is, you're living under the rock. For those who don't know what the game is, it's Michigan versus Ohio State. It's always super fun to watch, but it has huge playoff implications.
Yeah.
Both teams are undefeated.
I think if Ohio State wins this game, they take the number 1 seed in the playoff.
Ohio State ranked number 2. Michigan ranked number 3. This is for a playoff spot.
Yeah. How bad?
Whoever wins this game is going to the college football playoffs.
Well,
a chance to play. No matter what, even if they lose in the Big Ten,
there's still a chance that Ohio State can make it if they.
Well, no. Yeah, I'm not saying that like.
But whoever wins is guaranteed.
If you win this game, you are guaranteed a playoff spot. No, you could go and lose by 45 to Iowa in the Big 12 championship game, and still make the playoffs. Yeah. So if you win this game, you get a guaranteed free playoff spot.
Yeah. And
then it's a matter of how bad did the loser lose in this game.
Yeah.
Let's say Michigan loses by 3 points.
And I think that Michigan's going to take it.
Let's say Michigan loses by 3 points. Michigan loses by 3 points. TCU loses in the Big 12. Do you put TCU in or Michigan in? It's tough. It's really a matter of that 4th spot. It's tough. I'm inclined to say Ohio State wins this game on one condition. If Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards are playing in this game, Michigan wins. If they do not play, Ohio State wins. Blake Corum is a top 4 Heisman candidate.
Can we talk about how one of the best wide receiver prospects in college football right now could potentially be making his return to the field this week?
Yeah.
But it's on locks, and it's one of those things that we talked about. Same thing that the Bears are doing with Justin Fields potentially. It's all strategy.
No, you play him in this game.
I'm just
like
saying,
if there's any of a doubt, you play. And for those who don't know what he's talking about Jackson Smith-Njigba.
And that's what I'm saying too. Though I'm saying like he's been injured all season.
Since week 3 or 4. And I understand that, but I think everyone expects because you if you're him, you can't. This is a character thing.
Yeah.
If you have a good character and you love the game of football, you play this game.
Yeah.
Because it is just a great game. It really just comes down to whether or not Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards play. Because if Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards can play, then you dominate the trenches and you win the game that way. I think our back end is fine because there's no stopping Marvin Harrison. Yeah. Okay.
Remind me, when did the seedings happen?
Tuesday.
So I'm saying like they'll decide college football playoff on Tuesday of next week.
Well, that won't be because then you have to wait for the championship game. So you have to do like because then there's like the Big Ten and stuff.
We should.
But
is it because it's like late at night the decision, right?
It's not like late at night. I mean, like I think it's probably 6. I think it's like 6 or 7.
We should do something for that.
I think when they come out with the college football, but like there's still the championship games that have to be played. Because like if TCU wins this game and then loses in the Big 12 championship game,
let me say
then there's a discussion for it. Because the rankings that come out next Tuesday is not the final.
Let me tell you this though. I'm going to be the most depressed sports fan in sports right now, if the Bears lose to the Packers and they lose and Ohio State loses, the Miami Heat suck right now.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball's not happening, but even if it did, the Cubs would probably lose. And like the Blackhawks are awful. That's all of my favorite sports right there.
Mm-hmm.
I would have nothing going for me.
Yeah.
And if Ohio State gets ruled out,
they wouldn't be ruled out per se though. If you lose this game, I don't think you're out for sure. I'm don't.
Yeah, no.
Because if TCU lose,
it's a 50-50 shot.
Because if TCU and USC lose it, so like if USC loses this game, that is a big, big, big winner for whoever loses the Michigan versus Ohio State game.
Right.
Because if USC loses, I think that's now a 3-loss USC team.
Yeah.
You can't justify putting them in over a 1-loss Michigan or 1-loss Ohio State team. So if USC loses this game, that's a big help. And then it's just a matter. It comes down to whether or not TCU plays good down the stretch.
Yeah.
So it'll be really fun. It's great, and I'm happy because Michigan or Purdue versus IU play each other this weekend. I'm going to that game. This is huge. Huge for anyone who lives in Indiana. That's just like a rivalry. Like IU and Purdue fans hate each other. Like Purdue fans literally say IU sucks at every single kickoff.
Yeah.
So it's huge. So I'm going to be going to that game, but I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to watch the Michigan game.
Yeah.
I can because the Michigan game's at 11 or at 12, and the Purdue IU game is at 3:30. So I get to watch it. I'm very excited. I get to go to my football game and I get to watch my football game. So I get to eat my cake. I get to have my cake and eat it too, which doesn't usually happen.
What else we got though?
And then arguably my favorite linebacker in this entire class is going to be our prospect of the week.
Okay.
Trenton Simpson.
Okay.
Will linebacker out of Clemson, 6'3", 230 pounds. Trenton Simpson is. People will talk about Noah Sewell, who is Penny Sewell's brother. He goes to Utah. People like him. People like Henry Toho, who is Alabama's linebacker. Trent Simpson is definitely my favorite. I said maybe Trent Simpson is definitely my favorite linebacker thus far in this class. Obviously, opinions change so much. Again, he plays will linebacker, which is tough. Will linebacker is an outside backer. So he's not a middle linebacker, and it's hard to justify not drafting a middle linebacker in the first round. But I think Trenton Simpson is a first-round talent for sure. And if you don't believe me, here it is, man. He is the textbook definition of a modern-day linebacker. The dude can cover at safety if he needs it, and he's shown that he can cover at safety. He's a great overhang defender in zone if you ask him to. Like I said, he's good in zone. He's good in overhang. He's really good at covering the flats, and you would hope your will linebacker is good at covering the flats. But not only that, he can blitz and put pressure on the quarterback very, very, very well. And he's not your edge type of linebacker because he's not like your TJ Watt who plays the linebacker position in blitzes. He's not there. He's not that good of an edge rusher, but he's a darn good edge rusher if you ask him to do so. And if you look at it, you see the dude at 6'3", he has amazing length. He can cover very well, and he can blitz very well. Great athlete and great explosion. What is there not to like about this line? It doesn't really sound like and I hate making one-to-one comparisons, but I actually liked this one. He reminds me of like a Micah Parsons light. Not in the vein that he can pass rush as well, because he's not as good. As I said, he's not really even in the same realm as Micah Parsons in the pass rush, because when Micah Parsons is on, there's very few tackles in the league who can stop him. But in the vein that the dude is a linebacker who can legitimately do everything. He can blitz if you need him to. He can play edge if you need him to. He can cover. And in the same vein that he's not as good at blitzing as Micah Parsons is, I would say he's a significantly better cover linebacker. But again, he's your modern day will linebacker, a dude who can just move all over the field, pretty much do anything you ask him to. The only cons I have is we don't see him play stack backer. For those who don't know what a stack backer is, usually you see that in a 3-3-5 front or 3-5-3 front. That means like for every defensive lineman the linebacker is lined up straight, like 5 yards back off of that defensive lineman. And again, usually you see that in a 3-3-5. Those who don't know what a 3-3-5 is, that's 3 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 guys back at the safety, or a 3-5-3, which is 3 backers, or 3 defensive linemen, 5 backers, and 3 guys back in safety. But again, stacker is just when you guys have someone pretty much again lined up vertically with the defensive lineman. We just don't see it, but I just think it's because that's not what he's been asked. I don't think it's hard for us to say he can't do it. We just haven't seen him do it. And I'm going to put this in the con area, but he could be a better pass rusher with his size and explosion. He's a good pass rusher. And like I said, he has great size and he's a great explosion. And you would assume a dude who's 6'3" and as explosive as he is and as long as he is would be a great pass rusher. And he's not. He's just a good pass rusher. So I think if he can put that together, the league really should be on notice. And then the other struggle I have for him is he struggles navigating blocks in the run game. That doesn't hinder him right now in the NCAA. I think it might be a little bit of a struggle in the NFL, but I don't think it's too big of a deal. If he can navigate those blocks and put together better pass rushing, which is something that you could realistically see happen, I think this dude could be a top 5 linebacker in the NFL. I absolutely love this guy. I am a Trent Simpson stan. Absolutely. So, yeah.
Let's go ahead. Let's move on to our next segment.
It's time for America's favorite game, Weddle.
All right, so let's go ahead and get it started. As
board.
we always do. We're playing Weddle again. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Just to give you guys a little update as well while I'm doing this. Ben is up 12-8. We didn't have a winner last week. What do you want to do here for first pick?
On rock, paper, scissors. Yeah. Just 1 out of 1. It's just whoever, not 2 out of 3.
That's fine.
And then it's on shoot.
Yeah,
right?
Let's do it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Cool.
All right, what do you want?
I'll take it. It's fine.
All right.
Let's take Justin Fields, as I always do.
As we always do.
All right.
23, number 1, doesn't play quarterback. This should be a huge giveaway. Plays in the AFC, number 1, 23 years of age. I can't think of something.
Why does this not help us at all?
It should.
Yeah.
It should too.
Yeah.
I'm
thinking of somebody, but I don't know.
He's under 6'3" by at least 2 inches. So he's probably a running back. Please.
I'm really hoping you don't pick the guy that I'm thinking.
I know this can't be who it is, but we're going to try to guess someone in the AFC who's a running back and is young. We're going to go with Breece Hall. I know it's not Breece Hall.
I'm going with Travis Etienne.
There
it is. What? What's that? Have you played it already?
I think so.
We didn't establish any rules for it. What happens if you play.
So here's the issue for those who don't know why I have played. So last night it was at like 11 o'clock. And I punch it on my phone. And I'm like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. So I got an hour to play Weddle.
Here's what we'll do. Since you broke the rule.
No, are you
no,
let
listen,
me explain
just,
myself?
Just
Whoa. No,
listen.
No, for our listeners and for me, I feel like I have to justify myself. It's 11 o'clock. I look at my phone and I'm like, bam. 11 o'clock, I still got an hour to play Weddle.
Yeah.
No doubt. Hop on my computer, plug in to go and play Weddle. My computer is set to Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
Which means it was 12 o'clock, not 11. Wait.
Here's what I'll do.
Could we play Weddle on my computer?
Well,
hold on.
They can't see it.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let me propose this, okay? this is going to be the new rule.
At least I was honest about it.
I was going to say, if you...
We can't play Waddle on my computer.
Oh, geez. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do it.
You guys won't be able to see. I'm sorry. No, hold on. If I log in
For future reference, though, here's what we're going to do.
Mhm.
The person that didn't play it gets all 10 guesses on hard. And
That's
if they get it, then they get the point. But if they
that.
don't get it, then nobody gets the point.
I like that.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I like that.
That's why I was like, I think this should be what we should do.
Yes. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna enter the studio, and I'm gonna put my computer on mute.
Yeah.
But we're gonna use my computer, and we're gonna just put it on mute, but we're gonna share on my computer.
So should work.
Yes. And we're gonna put myself on mute, stop the camera, and then we're gonna go like this.
That is not what. Wait, there we go.
Yep, that's what we wanted.
Okay.
Sorry, guys,
We're good.
for that one. We're going to share screen, Windows.
Yeah, you gotta drag it out.
Now we'll just do this. We'll do this.
I can't believe that this worked. Nice. Okay. So there we go.
Hi, guys.
All right. So go ahead and do Justin Fields.
I'm so glad this worked. I was wildly
So it's a
concerned.
quarterback.
It's a quarterback who is under 6'3" and at least 26 or older. Plays in the AFC. Under 6'2". Oh, let's go with Russ.
Okay. All right. So it's an AFC. West
Oh,
quarterback.
come on. You just talking about this guy.
Well, there's three other options. We
Well, look at the height, though. The height.
go with Patrick Mahomes.
Come on.
Oh, come on. We talked about the rest of the AFC West. We just didn't talk about Russell Wilson.
Patrick Mahomes, I think, is too tall.
There it
Okay,
is.
I thought he was taller. I was going to
There
go
it
with
is.
Derek Carr.
All right.
I thought he was taller on that.
That's all right.
All right. That's great.
Pardon
I
me.
don't know why I did that. Yeah.
Cool.
You want
So,
first guess or you want second guess?
I want second guess.
All right. Each and every week.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown.
All right.
Okay. Offensive
Good.
player
Good.
in the NFC, older than 25,
It's not a wide receiver.
not a wide receiver.
Older
Probably a
than
quarterback.
25.
Probably a quarterback based off the height. In the NFC.
Let's see. Go with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Watch this just be like a snipe job. Just Jimmy right here.
Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay. Dang.
Let's see. I didn't think the numbers aligned.
But he is a quarterback.
Under the age of 31, but just barely. 6'2", so he's 6'3". We know for a fact he's 6'3". I think this guy, who I'm going to guess, is too old.
You're looking at Jameis?
Yes.
EI?
Yeah, that's.
Yeah. All right. Click hide.
Oh, that would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Go with Colt McCoy.
That it can't be Colt McCoy, but we already said it. So the division.
Yeah.
So
I just want to narrow it
Yeah,
down.
yes.
Yeah, never mind. Wow, he's a lot older than I thought he was.
he's 36.
Never mind.
Yeah, he's 36. So.
All right.
This is
You
tough.
got plenty of guesses. It's all right.
Okay. East, West, and South is gone. So that leaves
North.
your division.
Oh, jeez. Okay. No, it's not.
Oh!
Are you serious?
Bang!
Are you serious?
What am I at now?
Trevor Siemian, really? The Bear? Okay, yeah, so it would be 13-8 you.
Woo!
Whatever. I'm putting a frowny face next to your thing.
What's the name of the segment? Oh, you're not talking about Ryan and Ben? Oh, okay. Well, hold on. I've got it. It's time for Gridiron Goofs.
There's only one thing that I could pick first in this draft, and the draft is Thanksgiving food.
Which I don't think is the number one option. I think I know where you're going to go with this, which is going to be a darn shame because I know where I want to go with number 2 pick. And I know it's not an orthodox pick, and I am worried that you're going to pick it here, and I'm just going to – and it's not to pick everyone thinks because everyone thinks –
I'm going stuffing.
Oh, you didn't – oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. I don't care for stuffing.
Really?
That's not what I was going with.
Oh, what were you going with? What are we going with?
Give me the apple pie.
I'm just gonna give you pie in general, just to lump it all in.
Sure, I'll take apple pie, pumpkin pie, pecan pie, chocolate pie.
I'm being very
give me
generous
all of
here.
them. There was no need for you to give me all of them, and we're gonna take that.
Because my next, I was going to pick pie eventually.
Yes,
but I mean, obviously,
and now there's a clear number 3.
Yeah, turkey.
Yes,
turkey. Yeah,
and going off of that, I'm a ham guy.
Yeah.
Ham is better than turkey.
I don't think so. Honestly. See now.
I know where I'm going, man. I know where I'm going with this.
Really, really got to think. Let's see. I like it. A lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
I guess no. I don't think that'll be my next pick.
Got my big board over here, guys. You guys are wondering what I kept on looking at. I have my computer set off to the side.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many. I mean, it all just depends on culture too.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna say my number 3 pick, and you're gonna be mad.
I'm not.
You're gonna be mad that you didn't pick my.
I'm going mashed potatoes and gravy.
Okay, well now I'm mad that you picked that because that was the pick I was going with. Lord, can't have anything.
It has to be
nice.
with gravy though.
Can't have anything nice. Can't.
I saw it. I like it.
Oh gosh, we just like stick with the unorthodox.
Oh, I know my next pick too.
You know what? This is gonna be a pick that people won't usually go with.
Okay.
Me the mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese with the breadcrumbs on top.
Got to.
Yes, dude. I was thinking about it, but I was
Got
like,
to.
I don't know if both of our families do that. So, I'm going with the yams with the marshmallows in it. The sweet potatoes.
Sweet potatoes. Big difference in the yams.
Okay,
Huge difference in the yams.
But they have to have the marshmallows in it as well.
Yes. It's the 4th pick already. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, man. We got to go with like the classic. It's the way that everyone should end off their plate.
No way you missed this. I'm gonna be so. Just go ahead.
I'm gonna miss a lot of things. We're not in it here. You know, we're not in the right mind.
I'm gonna win this draft with this 5th round pick, though.
Okay. It's the way everyone should end off their plate. It just is.
What is it?
The dinner roll. Was that what you had in mind?
That was my draft winner.
Give me the dinner roll.
Yeah.
Give me the dinner roll. Just all kinds. I'm a Hawaiian roll man myself.
Yeah.
But like any kind of roll, the dinner roll, man. That is the way to end off a Thanksgiving plate.
Yeah.
The dinner roll.
It has to be. It has to be.
Jeez, now I have 2 picks that I really, really like here at the end. I have pie, turkey, or pie ham. What is it? I forgot my 3rd pick. Mac and cheese, the dinner roll. Wow, that plate of food, man. A nice ham, dinner roll, and mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good plate. And now I'm stuck because there's two really, really, really good picks I could pick from.
I guess I'll go green bean casserole here.
I was gonna see. I'm glad you did that because I was gonna say green beans and bacon, and now I can't do that.
Yeah, because
Now I can't do that because you picked it, which is great because now you helped me.
Yep.
That would have been if you would have let green beans and bacon follow me, that would have been done because then that's a whole.
My mom makes that too, and it's so good.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's great. And the green beans and bacon would have just filled out my plate. It's good that you didn't because now I don't have a vegetable on my plate. Yeah, which is a shame. This is a tough one. I think we're matched up very, very well against each other.
I think I dominated, but
I disagree. Stuffing at number 1 was an awful pick.
I love stuffing.
I probably wouldn't have even picked stuffing until my fifth pick.
If you would just understand the obsession with stuffing that my mother and I have, like
it's not better than mashed potatoes.
We
it's not better than mashed
potatoes.
Potatoes. It's not better than mashed potatoes. It's not better than ham. It's not better than turkey.
Okay, I had stuffing, mashed potatoes, turkey. I mean, I dominated.
I disagree. I absolutely.
Well, let's see what you do to round it out.
This is a personal favorite. We're going with my favorite here. This is the best way to eat. This is the second best way to eat potatoes because mashed potatoes.
Oh, baked potatoes?
No, not baked potatoes. Scallop potatoes.
Oh.
Scallop, those cheesy potatoes. You cannot go wrong with cheesy potatoes.
See, I didn't.
And this is tough because I love my draft and he loves his draft. And that's when it comes to like a cultural thing, man. Yeah. I think I absolutely killed you. I have a well-rounded plate. What are you going to eat for a dessert? You don't even have
There's
dessert.
There's plenty of options. It's Thanksgiving, bro.
You don't have a dessert.
I focused on the essentials, bro. What you have to have on your plate.
And stuffing's not one of them.
Stuffing is.
Neither is sweet potatoes and marshmallows. That is not a must either.
Well, it is.
I would rather have a dinner roll than sweet potato and marshmallows.
Had I gotten dinner roll on my draft,
it would have been done.
We would have fought.
It would have. It would have been done. It would have been done. But the dinner roll being on my team versus your team saved my draft.
Let me just go ahead.
Saved my draft.
I have everything in the Thanksgiving draft.
Mm-hmm.
I picked stuffing first overall.
Yeah.
You picked pie.
I would just go team by team to help our.
I said stuffing, turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, sweet potatoes with marshmallows, and green bean casserole.
I can't believe you picked sweet potatoes and marshmallows over the dinner roll.
You said pie, ham, mac and cheese, rolls, and scalloped potatoes. Now let me just say this:
it's great. I wanted the green beans and bacon.
I might have
that would have rounded it out
to some people. Which, by the way, comment whoever you think won. But to some people, I might have just given you the win in the first round just because I said all pie.
Because you said well, yes.
So
apple pie specifically.
That's me being a great friend that you should be thankful for.
I am always.
Yeah, no. So I mean, honestly, it's a great draft. We had a great episode.
Wait, real quick. On that note, we have 0 listeners live right now.
We had one, but he just left.
Yeah, an hour and 33 minutes into the podcast. World Cup is going on right now, man.
It is.
I don't know how many of our listeners are also soccer fans or football fans.
I don't know about if I would call myself a football fan, but I'm a very passionate American that likes to watch anything American sports.
Exactly. And so to that point, dude.
Yeah.
Americans soccer team. Yeah. Air quote that. Football. Could go. If we could beat England, which is tough.
Yeah.
If we beat England, we have a very good chance to make it far into the World Cup. I'm not saying we're gonna win it, but we have a chance, man. But on that note, dude, Qatar is awful right now. Yeah. I've always wanted to visit Qatar. It is not
good. Can I just say this too? Clearly, since we're underage, it doesn't necessarily matter to us. But what they did over there with the alcohol,
yeah,
that's just stupid.
That's wild.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Qatar is banning the sale of alcohol in the stadium.
Mm-hmm. Stupid. I mean, I guess it keeps it a little bit safe.
Yes, but
I mean, it's passionate. Fans.
I guess you don't want. I guess you don't want a fan pushed down 2 flights of stairs. Yeah. I guess so. But all right, you guys have a good Thanksgiving, and I'll let.
We're thankful for the podcast.
Yes, we're thankful for the podcast and you guys.
yeah, I mean, everybody that listens and everything, I'm very thankful. I'm thankful to have Ben as my podcast partner. It's been a lot of fun. But if you've made it this far, we want to say thank you. We want to thank our sponsors as well, which is weird because you're not on this side, but yeah, right here, Overtime Sports Network, as well as Rachel Radio Sports Network and Uppercuts Brewing and Anchor.fm for helping us support our podcast. If you have any kind of questions or anything that we should cover on next week's episode, leave it in a review or a comment, or maybe even both. Hit us up on any of our socials on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc., etc. And until then, this has been the Pigskin Project. We've got a lot scheduled for next week, so it should be good. Hopefully, we have a good week of football.
Yes.
Eat a lot, enjoy your family, and have a good week.
Be
This has
thankful
been
for football.
the Pigskin Project.